even tucked away inside an abandoned termite mound. The banded mongoose family can't sleep in. They have a neighbor who never lets them rest past dawn, the southern yellow-billed hornbill. It functions as a living alarm clock, and a stubborn one at that. On chilly mornings, the mongooses would happily burrow deeper and doze a while longer. The hornbill has other plans. It hops to the mound's entrance and starts flicking dirt inside again and again, until one groggy face after another is forced to emerge into the daylight. Getting them awake is only half the battle, though. Mongooses run on their own clock. Before anyone thinks about breakfast, there's grooming to do and a stretch of sun to soak up. Only when the group collectively decides it's time does the day actually begin. There's a ritual first. The mongooses rear up on their hind legs and mark their territory as high as they can reach.
It's a bit of theater. Leaving a scent trail at height tricks would-be intruders into thinking something far bigger patrols this ground. Then the hunt starts. Mongooses have a nose built for the job, capable of sniffing out prey buried under the earth. They also carry a tolerance for venom that lets them eat scorpions, poisonous spiders, and other insects most animals wouldn't dare touch. This is where the hornbill cashes in. As the mongooses dig and disturb the soil, they send beetles, lizards, and hidden insects scattering. Easy pickings for a bird with sharp eyes and a longer reach. It looks like freeloading, but it's really a clever arrangement. The hornbill has essentially recruited a mobile hunting party and turned the mongooses' foraging ground into its own personal buffet. The mongooses don't seem to mind losing the odd meal to their feathered tag-along. What the hornbill gives back is worth far more than a few insects. Perched above the action, it keeps constant watch, not just over the ground, but the sky as well. That vigilance matters. When a martial eagle appears overhead, the hornbill erupts into sharp, urgent call. The whole colony bolts for the nearest mound without hesitation. Only once the threat has passed and the call soften does anyone dare step back into the open. For the bird, sounding an alarm costs nothing. For the mongoose family, it can be the difference between life and death. Soon enough, they're back at work. A cluster of mongooses gathers around another active mound, noses to the ground before digging in. Once more, a fresh crop of protein-rich insects is uncovered, feeding both mongoose and hornbill alike. Then, mid-meal, the hornbill suddenly breaks off, flies to a higher perch, and scans the horizon. Another alarm sounds, and the group scatters for cover again. It's a stark reminder of why this partnership works. A mongoose's eyes don't reach far across open grassland, but a bird's do. This time, the shape looming on the horizon turns out to be familiar rather than dangerous. The alarm shifts to a different, calmer call. The mongooses come pouring back out, but not to flee. They're heading toward a warthog. It isn't the warthog itself that interests them, but the passengers riding on its hide. Warthogs wallow in mud to stay cool and shield their skin from the sun. But once that mud dries and cracks, it creates the perfect hiding spots for ticks. What's an annoyance for the warthog is a ready meal for the mongooses. They climb up onto its back, shoulders, and neck, and pick the parasites off one by one. 3 species, 3 completely different survival strategies, all converging in a single mutually useful moment. This bond between mongoose and hornbill isn't an isolated curiosity. Across the African savanna, countless species have discovered that cooperation pays off. It's not generosity that drives it, but the simple fact that evolution rewards partnerships where everyone comes out ahead. The mongoose's digging exposes food the hornbill could never find alone. The hornbill's aerial view catches danger long before ground-level eyes ever could. As the day's foraging winds down, both species will return to this same patch of earth tomorrow and start all over again. Maybe survival was never really about being the toughest creature out there. Maybe it's always been about knowing exactly when to lean on someone else. That's a lesson the wild has been quietly teaching for millions of years.